blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time. That's my girl right there. Hello, everyone.
Ooh, salutations. Hi, Troy.
Hey, what's happening?
Hi, B. I always call you by your government name. You know I can't help myself.
It's all good. Welcome, everybody. It is another wonderful Thursday night with my good friend Carla.
Yeah.
Welcome to Crazy Carla's Concoctions. How are you doing, Miss Carla?
You made it. You know what? I'm good. If I was doing any better, I couldn't stand it. How about that? That's something a deacon at my church used to say all the time, and it just stuck with me over the years. Mr. McCoy, he's gone on to be with Jesus, but he used to always say that, and I used to love it. So if I was doing any, love y'all. Listen, my child came to get a child. Look, she said, but I'm sorry, y'all, concoctions. Listen, so I'm glad. I'm good. And you had a good week so far?
Yeah, it was really Monday. Tuesday was acting like Monday.
It
Monday
was.
it was wilding.
It was Monday is Tuesday ever.
Facts. But yeah, I'm just thank God it's Thursday. So we're gonna leave it at that.
Listen, and I'm excited about my guest tonight. Let me just say this. I've been here getting myself in order all day. Because I said we got the good encouragement ladies on here. We got the ladies that's gonna make everybody have some peace and joy and smile and hope and all that good. I'm happy, okay? Because last week was kind of traumatic for some of us. Some of us it wasn't. But life itself is lifing right now. So I felt we needed this episode 88 of Crazy Carla's Concoctions. Right?
No doubt.
If you break it down, that's 4s, and if you break it all the way down, it's 2.
Right.
You know I'm always doing numbers. So I love it. I just love it. And I'm happy. So I guess we need to get into these sponsors so we can get this show cracking. How about that?
No doubt. Let's do it. So we're going to go ahead and start off with The Sweetest Lime.
The Sweetest Lime by Micaiah Mitchell. Now, look at here. Let me tell y'all something very exciting about The Sweetest Lime. Y'all know right now she currently has her shop in her home and has for years. But guess what? Next month, she moves into her brick and mortar location, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. She is getting that place ready. It's going to be a hair boutique, a massage. You're going to be able to go there and get a massage, spa. It's going to be a spa and boutique, hair boutique. Let me get it right because you tell me how to say it, but you know me, I'm going to mess it up. So, y'all see right now, it's looking how it's looking. But you see, she keeps my hair healthy. She does quite a few people that you may know, that I know, hair. She keeps your hair healthy. She's very professional. She can cut, color. She's a natural hair guru. She's a lock guru. She works for Ashtay Cosmetics as a trainer. And now we add to that, she's opening her own shop. So congratulations, Makaya. We are
Indeed.
so happy. Now, if you would like for her to do your hair, she does do house calls. She does travel. She has clients in Raleigh and Charlotte and other places beyond Winston-Salem. She will come to you. But once she gets her actual location, I don't know how that's going to work. I guess you will have to call her and ask her. So you can call her at 336-734-3307, or you can pick her up on Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat at The Sweetest Line. You can go there and see all her pictures and all the things she's doing. And she also does words of encouragement. She's amazing. And I'm not just saying that because she's my sister, but she is. So the most important thing is, you can click that little barcode there,
Yes, indeed.
and get right on in there. And the most important thing is when you book her, tell her Carla sent you, okay?
Indeed.
Second, we have my girl Myra, Intuitive Readings by Myra. What's that, Carla? Intuitive Readings by Myra. It's just that. She takes your energy and she tells you what your energy tells her. All right. And it's amazing. It's an amazing experience if you've never experienced it. And she also is making this fabulous jewelry now that's for sale. And she's very inspirational. She's just a joy to be around. So if you would like for Myra to tell her what you tell her back to you, you can click the, what you call it?
QR code.
The QR code.
Yes.
I went blank. I was like, Lord, what's the name for it? You could click the QR code to get her information, or you can simply call her. She's also in Winston-Salem, North Carolina at 336-480-1653. Or you can go to intuitivereadingsbymyra.com if you're out there in listening land and not seeing this. Because she does virtual visits. Also, she has a brick and mortar location here in Winston-Salem, but she also does lots and lots of virtual visits. She has lots of virtual clients, and she's amazing. So when you book her, please tell her Carla sent you. And then, last but not least,
gotta get the sauce.
you got to get the sauce. Listen, this sauce is amazing. Listen, I'm gonna say it one more. I'm gonna say it slow. This sauce is and you can go to nhjerkcenter.com, or you can scan the QR code.
There you go.
And get your information. Now, listen, right now the bottles are $12. Now, let me give the disclaimer. I always have to give the disclaimer. If you are not a hot and spicy person, meaning if you are hot and spicy, you don't like hot and spicy, do not get that hot and spicy sauce, because that's what it is. This man is Jamaican, and it's Jamaican jerk barbecue sauce. Y'all, it's the best sauce. I'm telling you, this sauce is so phenomenal. Now, the mild is great. Now, in this house, we put it on our French fries. We dip our chicken nuggets in it. We put it on everything, okay? It's bad. But you should experience it. So scan the QR code or go to nhjerkcenter.com and let them know Carla sent you. Okay?
Indeed.
All right.
So I know we have a big show tonight. So how do you want to do this so that we can do this evenly, I guess?
So let me tell you how this started.
Okay.
So what I did was I was sitting up last week. Now, y'all know I like to talk and say stuff. But because of my employer, there are certain things I can't get on social media and rant and rave about sometimes.
Right.
So last week in the United States of America, for those of you who are listening in the other countries, we had our national election for our president.
Right.
And it did not go how a lot of people thought it was going to go. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Add that on top of life is lifing for everyone. I don't care if you're a Republican, a Democrat, an
Yeah.
independent, a Muslim, a Christian, an atheist, whatever.
Right.
It just seemed like everything came to a head this week. And people really were feeling some kind of way. I was feeling some kind of way.
Yep.
Okay. So I said, of course, my big daddy always told me, when you don't know what to do or what to say, just go ahead and pray. And that's something I've always done since I was a little girl, even when I didn't even know what praying was, really, you know. I learned how to pray myself through situations. And y'all, I apologize. That's my heat y'all hear is coming off and on because it's cold in North Carolina today. It is like 40 degrees and
Wow.
y'all just gonna hear the heat. Okay, that's it, because it's gonna come out. Because between my hot flashes, I get cold. Okay, yes. So I decided that I wanted to get together some women, and not just women, but some Black women, some sisters who know how to encourage people, who know how to uplift people, who know how to talk to people and make people feel, the things that they're feeling, the positive things. And I put out a request. I just said maybe somebody will bite, and sure enough, people bite. And then I thought of two people off the top of my head. I asked two personally, could they come on? So, um, we're going to bring these ladies on and we're going to introduce them. And then, y'all, what we're going to do is have a good time like we always do on here. We're going to have us a good time. And we're going to discuss, what do you do when you feel like all hope is gone, when you feel discouraged, when you feel like, what do I do next? What's the next step? Like, how do we navigate this situation? And I was gonna say unknown, but it's not unknown. If you're Black in America or in the world, I would dare say, you face unknowns all the time. You face things that you don't know what's gonna happen all the time. Like, it's just part of your DNA, unfortunately. Just never knowing what's gonna happen. But I just really feel like right now it's really like got some of us in a chokehold. And we need to know everything's going to be okay. It's going to be all right, because everything is your perspective anyway. I feel like, joy is a perspective. Peace is a perspective. Happiness is a perspective. Being miserable is a perspective. You choose these things, right? So no matter what you're going through, if you choose to be happy, sad, mad, or glad, you choose it, right? So now we're in this new climate and we're getting ready to go into something we don't know what we're getting ready to go into, right?
Right.
So let's bring on the lady.
Alrighty. All right.
Hi, ladies. Hey, y'all. Hey, look at them. Aren't y'all beautiful? Hi.
Hey.
I'm so glad to have y'all on here. Uh-oh. What's that? Okay, I'm going to talk. Somebody was echoing. Did y'all hear it? No?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, it went away. I don't know. Maybe somebody was getting feedback. It happened. But thank you, ladies, for coming on, each and every one of you. Tisha Ray might jump on later. She's in class, and she was supposed to be on, but class got held over. So I don't know if she's going to pop in or not. The Apostle Gloria Samuels was going to try to come on, but today's her birthday. I was like, don't you dare. So today's her birthday. So she's not going to make it with us tonight. But y'all, I just want to thank you for being open-minded enough to come on here and give of yourself to the people and talk about what you feel is important to you as far as encouraging yourself, encouraging others. I don't know what your take is on it. You might want to give a word. I don't know what y'all want to do, but we just going to go with it. Now, this is Crazy Carla's Concoctions. So before we get started, this show going to be like any other show. What y'all drinking? Because I'm drinking cranberry juice and ginger ale. What y'all drinking?
Tea.
Hot tea.
I see.
chamomile
Oh,
tea. Mm-hmm.
okay. What you got, Carla? Hey, your hey, Sonny.
Just a little cranberry juice mixed with a little
Like
salt.
me. Oh, that must be the Carla drink. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
listen, I am so excited. And you know what? Sonny just popped on here. That's another one I got to get on this show with her singing
Yes.
self. Yes, go.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
go. Um,
Yeah.
so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my right and introduce you all and have you all say something about yourself. So first we're gonna start with Miss Natasha Daniels Muhammad. That's one of my besties. We've been friends ever since. I can tell you exactly
99.
when we were 1999. You want to know the exact date? July 27th, 1999. Because me and her started working at Aon together on the same day.
Yes. Yes.
And we have been friends ever since. Now, I don't work for Aon and neither does she. Well, isn't even an Aon anymore, is it? I think
No.
it's A-Light.
Right.
A-Light.
I
But
don't
I
know.
worked
They
there for
gone.
14 years, but they gone. And
Mm-hmm.
I met Natasha there. So Natasha, tell the people something about yourself.
Well, I am also an intuitive reader, but I don't do personals at all. But I am a Reiki master. I make soaps, and I'm a twice ordained minister. And I love to travel the world. So as a mother of adult children and a grandmother, I've been afforded the opportunity to not sit still. And so I made a home in Rwanda, and then I came back. I went to South Africa. So the world, I like Erica Badu says, the world is mine. I just got back about a month ago from spending a few months in Southeast Asia. So I just love to experience and expand everything, expand my life, expand my mind. And so that is me in a nutshell.
Wonderful. Yes. And you're also a proud member of what sorority?
Oh, Sigma Gamma Rho
Look,
Sorority Incorporated.
I'm
We
surprised
just
you didn't say
had
that.
our I just show. We had our 102nd Founders Day on Tuesday, November 12th, 1922 is our founding. So yes, spring 1993, number 6, Atiba the ruler.
Oh Lord, Chad. I
Failed
love it.
state
I love it.
university.
I love it.
And
Okay,
then
and
this
then
time it's
next,
important to support your HBCUs. So I just wanted to put
please.
that plug there, and I'll go back on mute now.
And where did you go to school, ma'am?
The illustrious, incomparable, uncomparable Fayetteville State University.
Oh
Oh,
Lord, yeah.
awesome.
We're gonna give y'all shout out. I love I rock with all the HBCUs, even though I always feel that North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University is just always just gonna be the best in my eyes. But I love y'all. I love the Broncos too. I love y'all too. So next, we have somebody who I've known for a long time. Since I moved to Winston, actually, I was 13, 14. And one of my first friends that I met at Paisley Middle School was this phenomenal woman. And she's going to introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Melanie Hill. Um, I am originally from Winston-Salem. I am an HR director for Curriculum Associates. I co-pastor a church in Lexington, North Carolina with my husband. We have a marriage ministry together. We actually do Facebook Lives. We actually have a book coming out in December, and we are the proud parents. We have a blended family. We have 4 children, about to be 6 grandchildren Tuesday, and 1 great grandchild. So life is pretty busy around these parts. Glad to be
Wow.
here.
That's a
Glad to be here.
blessing. Thank you, Melanie. Y'all, she is a powerhouse speaker, baby. When she get to bringing the word, you be like, child, you be tired. You be like, "Why you had to put it on me like that?" But she that kind of preacher. I love it. I love it. And it's crazy because in real life, she's so demure. So yeah, those things or whatever. But yeah, and she's also a fellow Aggie, right?
Yes,
So I had
yes,
to put
yes.
that out there. And so I'm gonna go below me to the other Carla. So I already told them your first name, but go ahead and introduce yourself, sis.
Hi, my name is Carla Fulton. I am an ordained minister. I'm a mother of 4 adult kids, and I have 2 grandsons. And I love to sing. I'm in a singing group. We've done 2 CDs so far. We're called Gifted. And I just love life. I just love life. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. That's all
That's,
you got to say, girl. Okay. You come on. Okay.
that's it.
Now, the next lady, I never met her until I put out the call for help. But she is cousins with Tracy Whitlock, and y'all know I was in Tracy's play and got nominated for Best Supporting Actress for a role. And her cousin wrote that, Tasha. And she said, "Come on, recording artist, that's you. Listen, Carla can sing, girl. Can you hear it when she talk?" Okay. So this young lady that we have here, I hear wonderful things about you. So introduce yourself, Miss Wanda, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Wanda Williams, and I am from Wilson, North Carolina. I am a minister, a Christian counselor. I'm a mother of 2, and I have 11 grandkids. And I am just excited to be on the show. I
Thank
am.
you. Thank you. And that's it. That's all you got to say, girl. You look so pretty back there, girl. The professional. I love it.
I could say a whole lot more, but I'm be nice. I'm be nice
Oh,
because I
God.
love to talk. I love to talk.
Say something. Say something. Do you sing? I hear the little in your voice. Do you sing
A
too?
little bit. A little bit.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna hear that. You know, them singers got that little. They got that. I don't know what you call it, but you got it. Okay, all right. So I hear it, girl, Miss Wilson, North Carolina. And then last but not least, we have the great Reverend Dr. I don't want to mess up saying your name, Dr. Lansing. Introduce yourself to us, ma'am. And I just met her also when I put out the call for help. Somebody said, "Oh, you need to get her on." Your name came up like 5 times, ma'am. So I said, let me reach out to her. And so here she is, y'all. She's here amongst us. So introduce yourself.
It is a blessing to be on here with you all. I am Fanta Lance. I'm the senior pastor of St. James Presbyterian Church in Greensboro. We are a church that's focused on social justice, activism, missional work. So we're in the community working to transform lives and to empower people. I'm also a womanist mystic, so I love mystical things. Natasha, when you were talking about Reiki, and so I am one who loves to delve into the mystical nature of spirituality, meditation. So that's a little bit about who I am. I've done my doctoral work around healing trauma from a spiritual perspective. So the ways in which our faith is a healing aspect, and how God can speak into our lives, and how the scriptures and living out certain spiritual disciplines can heal us. I'm also being trained to be a spiritual director, very similar to the practitioner of counseling, but yet in a spiritual perspective, discerning what the Spirit has to say about these things. So that's a little bit about me. And I am just so thrilled to be on here with all of you all. And I look forward to our conversation.
Yes. Oh, go ahead, Steve. Listen, y'all. Y'all know, for those of you who know me personally, y'all know I'm just a silly person. If I break out crying, don't pay me no attention. If I bust out laughing, I'm just inappropriate. That's it. I am. Just call me Peter. I tell people that all the time. Just call me Peter. I'm your Christian friend that cuss, and if you test me, I might snatch you or something. You know, God's working on me still. I'm getting there. Okay. My children are grown. I'm going through menopause. It is what it is. Okay. So sometimes I be hot, sometimes I be cold, but I'm never lukewarm. Hallelujah. Shabbat. Now, what we gonna say tonight is what as excellent question. Let me be right. So usually when I ask people, the first thing I get on here and ask y'all is where you from, where you at. You already answered all that. Then I ask you your zodiac sign. I know y'all preachers don't care about that. So third question. Even though I think it's very funny that all these women on here, these women who encourage people, I'm just curious. Now I know male's a Virgo. I know Tasha's a Taurus. Carla, what are you?
I'm an Aries.
You're Aries.
Yes.
What are you, Miss Wanda?
Cancer.
You're a Cancer. A July or a June one?
July.
July.
Mm-hmm.
That tells me a lot. What about you, Miss Fanta?
Fellow Taurus.
You're a
Shout
Taurus
out.
too? So are you May or
Yes.
April?
I'm May 4th.
Both of y'all. Okay, so you and Tasha, y'all the made Taurus. My mom's a Taurus, but she's April. So I grew up with a Taurus, and one thing I know is y'all do not play. Okay, that's what I know. So I know not to upset the boo. Okay, so how are y'all feeling? That's my first question. How do you feel right now? Because has anybody taken the time to say, sis, how are you? And I mean, we can go in order. You can, feel free. Tasha, how are you feeling right now? How are you feeling with
in
in light of
general, or-
current events? Just
Oh.
period. How are you feeling right now?
So with the current events and the time, that it did not have a profound effect on me. And that's
Okay.
simply because in 2016 I was in Newark, New Jersey when he won the first time. And I remember my mother calling me and she was so distraught. And I said, Ma, we got to learn to be like Chinatown in Manhattan. And she said, what are you talking about? I said, it doesn't matter who's in office. I can go to Chinatown and go buy a fake Gucci bag if I want to. Business runs as usual. And so that's how we need to be. We need to have the ability to continue with our day-to-day, continue with building. It's a lot of times it does take these triggering events to cause something to happen because there's a vacuum, there's a gap. One of my good friends, Princess India Powell, she calls it the is not before the is, which is essentially there's a vacuum space, a black hole, and not knowing that there's an inner working that's happening within the black hole to create something beautiful. And so just like on Threads, so this stuff happened on Tuesday. Black women were getting together and connecting on Threads on Wednesday. I went to bed Wednesday night with 88 followers. I now have almost 900 because it's about coming together and finding community within each other. I know it can be disappointing. I know it can be saddening, but sometimes we have to prevent the changing times to not knock our spirit. It can happen, but we have to learn to be so deeply rooted that even as the winds blow, our entire being isn't going to change because of this. And so now is coming where people are going to find the need to be grounded spiritually, grounded emotionally, grounded intellectually. And so with me, I just woke up, I was like, all right, time to go to work. Right. It did not affect me in that way, but I saw how the positive outcome, like on Threads. I keep talking about that because that amazed me of how Black women came together and just like that, started connecting with one
We
another,
started grabbing
started
each other,
building
right?
community. Exactly. And so maybe that's necessary. Everything can be used, and the Quran says, and yet they plan, and Allah plans, and Allah is the best of planners. So there can be something that can be planned out for your demise, but it's something that is used for the good of. And it allows you to find the light that's within you. While we look for it externally, we have it in us. And so that's what this time is doing. It's allowing people to find the light internally and the light in the community. I'll keep talking, so I'm gonna let others speak. But yeah, I'm like James Brown. I feel good. Aside from this cold, I feeling good, feeling great. How are you? Like,
Okay,
right?
okay, girl. Okay. And next, Melanie. How do you
Um,
feel?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Better than I was last week. For me, it was one of those things where I felt like my race, my gender, and my faith were all fighting against each other. Um, I felt like I was at an intersection with all of them. Because I wake up every day. I'm black. Wake up every day. I'm a woman, and I wake up every day, and I'm a Christian. And I will be honest with you, sometimes those things can fight against one another because I have to choose. Sometimes I feel I have to choose because what I felt Wednesday morning was not loving my neighbor, was not loving those who didn't look like me, was not what I was feeling. And I had to wrestle with that. And it was funny because I had to preach Sunday morning, and I posted this, and I very much felt it. I said, I pray for every preacher who has to preach hope when they don't feel hope themselves, because sometimes you have to give hope. And I didn't feel very hopeful Sunday. Um, but I did once I was done. But the thing of it is that um, moments happen. We survived the other 4 years he was in. We'll survive these. I think this one hurt a little bit more because at the end of the day, I think we know what the message was. Um, the At the end of the day, literally what it felt like is just that we just were not going to have a black woman there, and that was just it. And that was the slap in the face, because anyone looking on paper, if anyone had put their resumes beside each other and didn't have their names at the top, she would have won every single time, period, point blank. um no matter how you sliced it, no matter how you diced it, it was just because he was a white man, and that is what hurt the most. And so, we have to sit with it, we have to process it, but I still have to be true to who I am, um, race, gender, and faith, and I will continue to do that.
Awesome. So what about you, Miss Fanta? How you feeling?
The first thing that came to mind is I need my tribe. I need my people. I need to be in a space that loves me. I need just that space of care. Trisha Hersey has a book out that's called Rest is Resistance. And she is the founder of what she calls the NAP ministry. And she talks about rest as a way to resist a grind culture, a culture that tells us that we are only sufficient if we're working to produce something. And she comes against that to say that resting is an act of resisting the culture that makes us feel as if our doing is what creates us or makes us something. So, in addition to finding the tribe and being with other like-minded people or just people who I feel loved by, I decided to figure out what are ways that I can rest. What is my soul needing? what is going to help me to center and survive? Because as Melanie said, I also had to stand up and preach on that Sunday morning. We have to be present for our families. We have to be present for people who are wanting this encouraging word. And in order for us to be encouraging, we have to fill our cups so that we can pour out. And so I think for me, it's just important to determine what is your pattern of resting, because what we're walking into, we're going to need our strength in order to stand strong. And so are we resting in the scripture? Are we resting in this right here? That's why I said I want to be a part of this, because I want to be with other sisters who are encouraging and who are uplifting. Are we resting in finding time to literally sleep a little bit longer and not judge ourselves for doing it, and not saying that we are lazy, but yet we are taking that time to do what we need to do? Are we resting by taking an extra walk, sipping on that extra tea, or whatever, so that you can find something that's cozy for your soul and that you can truly be rejuvenated to endure? Because Sophia said in The Color Purple, all my life I had to fight.
That's what she said.
And that's what we've been doing for so many things. We've been fighting and fighting and fighting. And so when we're resting, I think we can also rejuvenate ourselves so that we can continue to stand. So that's where I have been, and that's what I've been figuring out. What can I do to even pour into my congregation and other friends in modeling this sense of rest, so we can resist whatever's coming. Like you said, Carla, we don't know what's coming. We know something is coming, and we know God's going to help us move through it. But we got to center ourselves so that we can truly stand strong.
I love it. Thank you. Ooh, y'all. Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps. Okay, Wanda, how you feel, sis? What's the deal?
I'm good. Last Wednesday, I was feeling some type of way. I was just feeling some type of way. But, for the past year, my motto has been trust the process. Trust God and trust the process. Last year, my husband and I was in a bad car accident, and we found out that he had cancer, and I have broken clavicle, still have a broken clavicle a year later. And this year, my son was diagnosed with cancer, but I'm glad to say that God is a healer. He has healed, so, and even in this situation, even today, it just come to mind, all things are working together. The good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent. And even in this, I believe that God is working. Even in this, God is working. We've seen a lot of posts on Facebook. If my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and pray. This right here has got some people praying. This right here has got some people praying. People who hasn't been praying before, it's got some people praying. So, I believe that God allows things to happen sometimes to get our attention. But I do believe that even in this, God is working. All things are working together for the good of those that love God. This past Sunday, I preached a sermon that said women. It was a Women's Day service, but the topic was women standing under pressure. Women standing under pressure, and so what do I stand on? How do I stand? We're going to stand on the promises of God. We're going to stand on the promise that He said He'd never leave us nor forsake us. So we're going to continue to stand. And I'm like Natasha. I purposely try not to get caught up in, that feeling that I was feeling, because if God brought me through all of this, He will certainly bring us through that. So He brought me through this. He brought me through that. And I'm grateful. I'm thankful. And I just trust Him. I trust Him. And I believe His word, so I'm good. And I have to be available I have to be available for my family, my grandkids, my husband. I have to be available, so I can't get caught up in what I'm feeling. Nothing is wrong with what anybody feels. We have a
No.
right to feel what we feel, but
Okay.
I can't get caught up in just that, because I have to be available. I have to be available. I have to be available for those that I love. I have to be available, to care for those that I love. I just have to be available for me. I have to be available for me. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good. And Carla, how you
Uh,
feeling, sis?
well, I feel better this week than I did last week. I will say Sunday I didn't preach, but I led praise and worship. And I just felt heavy. I was feeling heavy all last week, very heavy. Um, and that's, I think that's the biggest thing with us women in ministry. We get so much thrown
Mhm.
on us, right? And it's like, where do I release?
Mhm.
You know, who
Mhm.
who's gonna hear me? Um, and with the election, it made me sad because of the lack of knowledge
Yes.
with our people,
Mhm.
the lack of knowledge with the young people, um, the lack of our men.
Mhm.
Ah, ah,
You hear me
and
what I'm saying?
that just saddens me. I'm one that I think carries and can feel like people, what they are feeling, or if someone talks to me, or or want to vent, is something that I just carry. I don't know why. I've been like that all my life. And I have a heart for our seniors. So just thinking about things that they will be effective with, um, is it just hurts my little heart. But I can say this week I do feel a little lighter. Um, of course, Sunday I still pressed, leading praise and worship. I still had to press because we still have to
Mhm.
show up.
Mhm. Yeah.
We still have to show up, you know, in even in the midst of, and
Right.
I do know that God is going to see us all through. Um,
Mhm.
this is, we're like a testament to those that can't see, and just really those that think, oh God, we're doomed for life, oh we're doomed, and no, I know God is going to see us through. My motto: feel what you feel.
Mhm.
Feel what you feel, but don't stay in it.
Mhm.
So I'm better. I'm better this week. Yeah.
Goodness, sis. Well, ladies, everything y'all said is amazing. You all right? God bless you, Tosh.
Bless you.
Um, um, I didn't hear it, but I saw it. So, but I will say, I know maybe I'm different. I just immediately started thinking about my ancestors and what they went through before us, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Give me a second, y'all. I'm talking to Troy in the chat. So, um, my grandmother was 92 years old. She just died a few months ago. She had a good long life. She would tell me stories. I thought about my big mom, my big dad, and my dad, all the people that have gone on before us and didn't get to see what we see now, what we're living now, and how even though we're going through whatever it is we're going through right now, good or bad, We are still our ancestors' wildest dreams. We are still something that they strive to be. They would, if they were to be able to do it all over again and come back and be in this time, they would be like, wow, you know, they have this, they have that, you know. Child, I went outside. I know it's crazy that I went outside barefoot. I was out there in the grass. I was hugging the trees. I done sage, cried, prayed, cussed, drank. Baby, I was doing everything because my mind was just going crazy. I was like, what are we doing next? You know, and it wasn't because I'm not gonna say I'm scared, but I was like, oh, what? So now what? Because when I went to bed, it was one way, and when I woke up the next morning, it was another way. It was another way. And in these 51 years, I've seen changes, but here comes another one. Here comes another one, you know, and I'm just like, okay, God. All right, God, I need you, you know, and that's where I am because Wednesday, I worked, but after that, I was in hermit mode for a few days. I didn't really want to talk to nobody. I didn't really want to be around nobody. I just had to take some time to be to myself, you know, and think about this thing called life. So I'm good. Having my granddaughter, she was grumpy today. I don't know what's going on, but usually she's such a joy. You know, she brings me joy. Life is happening. Good things are happening to me. I really don't have any complaints. And I foresee for the foreseeable future that these good things are going to continue to happen to me, no matter who's in office or who isn't in office, right? Because God already said that, you know, if you write the vision and make it plain, the stuff I've been writing, there's no room for foolishness. Everything is going to be everything. So now we're going to go to, hold on. Yeah. The artist of the week. We have to do that, y'all. So we're going to take a little break. Y'all can refresh your drinks or whatever or whatnot, and we'll come back to this conversation. But go ahead, Troy.
Yes, indeed. Our Blast Artist Spotlight is from Michelle Salas, and this is a wonderful song. You guys will love it. This is called Keep Moving. Check it out.
precious, take your life, just keep moving. Please believe me when I say, God, our God will make a way, just keep moving. Don't you give up, don't you give up, keep your head up, and just keep moving. Don't you give up
the strength,
don't you give
for
up,
you to hold.
just keep moving.
Don't look
Just
back,
keep moving.
moving forward.
Don't you give up, it ain't
Don't
easy.
you give up,
Be encouraged
just
to
keep
live.
moving.
Just keep moving, moving. Don't you give up,
Encourage
don't you
yourself.
give up. Just keep moving, just keep moving.
I know it may sound redundant, but yes, it's a world designated to keep you down. The press is on, no matter the cost. The Creator, He'll be your guide. The Creator, He'll be your supply. 'Cause the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, but whoever endures, that's who will win.
Don't you give up, don't you give up. Just keep moving, just keep moving. Get your head up to the sky. Don't let the pressures take your life. Just keep moving, just keep moving, just keep moving. Don't you give up, just keep moving.
Yes, indeed. And that was Christina Michelle Salas with Keep Moving. And if you are an independent artist or a spoken word poet or up and coming comedian looking for some exposure, you can go to blastmusic247.com for free. But Blast is also looking for the fans. So if you're a fan of great music, you too can also go to blastmusic247.com and register as a unlimited fan and have access to independent music. So break out your iPhone and your Samsung, scan the QR code, and go to blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time. All right, Carla, back to you.
Thank you so much. Okay. I love that. I love that song. That song is so inspiring. And it's definitely what was needed for, this time. Just keep moving. Just keep your head up and keep moving forward. That's it. That's the message. Because ultimately, as human beings, that's what we have to do. We have to keep going. You cannot get stuck. You cannot stand still. You can, but you just can't do it for too long. And I love what you said, Dr. Fanta, about resting, because baby, I'm a napper. Okay. I am a napper. I need to be the minister, the head mistress of napping. Okay, because I'm gonna nap. I don't care what's going on. If I go on vacation, my friends I'd be like, but y'all know I got to take my nap. You understand? I have to rest. It's something in me that if I don't rest, you can't deal with me and I can't deal with myself. So I have made it a practice, especially as I have gotten older. Self-care to me is taking a nap. Okay, that's one of the things that Carla is gonna do. And if I don't get to take a nap, woe unto you. Okay, because I got to take one. And during the pandemic, we didn't get to go in the church, and we did virtual church. And I found out that I like it. I love it. And so, unlike some other folk, I ain't been back in there, but maybe about 3-4 times since I call it the pandemica. Coach Stinking Jenkins showed her face. I have not been going to church on Sunday in the church, baby. I be at Bunny Baptist. I pops up. I get my coffee ready. I go in there and make my oatmeal and my food, baby. I act like I'm going to the movies, but I'm going to worship. And I go watch my pastor, the Reverend Chad R. Armstrong from Phillips Chapel, Missionary Baptist Church, online every Sunday. But that's what works for me. I miss my church people sometimes. I do see them, and when I do come, they love on me and all those things. But I found out because I do so much, y'all. And you know, people love to tell you, well, you make time to go to work, and you make time to do that, and you make time to do that. You got time to go to church. That's your business. But for me, I stay home and get the word, okay? That's me, because that's what works for me. Now, that might not work for you, but that's what works for me. And it has given me quite the peace to not to have to get up at 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning on my one day. Because Saturday, I'm usually always doing something too. I'm doing comedy, I'm acting, I'm filming somewhere. Sunday, y'all, I gets up at 9:45 and gets myself ready for that 10 o'clock service online. And I'm happy, okay? So that is what I would like to share with people. Like, you know what? I'm at this point in my life where I feel like God is directing me to show people you got to be a little selfish with yourself sometimes. And sometimes my selfish means I stay home and rest and get the word. That might not work for somebody else. I know some people who they cannot live if they cannot bust inside the inside of a church. They got to be in there. They got to go. That's how my mama is. She got to go in the church. And she said, God said he commanded it. Okay. And that's cool. You do what works for you when it comes to what lifts your spirit, as long as it's not harming someone else. And I'm not harming anybody by laying on my bed and sitting on my couch watching my preacher preach versus going in the church and watching him do. I don't care what y'all say. Now, that's me. Now, for the next person, tell us, what do you do to spread? What do you do to keep your joy and your spirits lifted for yourself?
Oftentimes I do anything that I love. Anything, and it can be different each time. Sometimes it can be like when I travel, and that brings me joy, seeing new places, experiencing things that I'm going to see. Like I recently went to Cambodia and saw Siem Reap, and I'd wanted to see it for almost 30 years, to see Angkor Wat Temple. That brings me joy, being able to do that, being able to be around my family. You all saw my granddaughter come in and tell me good night. That can bring me that does bring me joy, not can bring me joy. Sometimes it is right before joining here, I took a nap because I needed to take a nap. I wasn't feeling well. So I sat on the couch and I took a nice little nap in order to be re-energized. You should do anything that re-energizes you. And if it's exercise, if it's having that piece of chocolate, because that's what you really, really want. And I can't do, if I don't have that piece of chocolate, I might punch a hole in air. So you're going to go ahead and get that piece of chocolate, because all you do is think about like, oh, I can't have it and just want to lose 2 more pounds. And if I eat this chocolate, like, then you're going to wear yourself out thinking about this chocolate, and it's going to sit on your brain instead of just dealing with it, right? And so that can bring you joy. At times, it's not like I have a limit of how long I can talk on the phone now. Because of the nature of my 9-to-5 job and being in IT product management, and then having to do readings on my YouTube channel, then just I have to limit, and then just people, I have to limit how much. That brings me joy to set boundaries. So there are times when boundaries can bring you joy and restoration. Soap making, it's whatever it is at that time that's going to lift you up, even if it's dancing. The other day, I was listening to a twerk playlist in the house, and that got me moving. And I was like, Wally, 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 Wally World, and just dancing around the house to just different types of music, right? But that
I want to hear it. I want to hear the song. I gotta hear the song. I want to hear the song.
Walmart song. So just all talking about Walmart and how Walmart is the plug. But it's just like, and then you just dancing around, even if it's listening to Glorilla. I know a lot of people have whatever.
Yeah, I love
But
that
she's
baby. I
like,
love
she
her.
said she
Yeah.
turned the whole house into the booth, which means she took everything that she owned and turned it into something that's going to bring her joy, allow her to make money and seek her passions. If we don't take that time to do that, to take what we have, the tools that we have available, where we sit and go, I wish I could, but you have the tools available to you. It may not look the way that you envisioned it, like it's not a giant studio, but there's a microphone, there's a telephone, there's all these things that you have in your hands right now to start going after the dreams in which you wish to pursue. And then as you move forward, more things will be open to you. It may not be exactly what you want to do, and you make a left turn, right? So, and then you find something else, and that can also bring you joy. Change can bring you joy. Adjusting can bring you joy. You know, what usually doesn't bring people joy is if, and I'm a Taurus, so I'm notorious for being stubborn, as you know, Carla. However, I've learned over time that all that does is leave me stagnant, and anything like stale water, stale anything that doesn't move, it starts giving disease. And so what do people say? You know, I was in the Nation of Islam, dis-ease. So it starts making your mind uneasy, your life uneasy, which will force you to change or you die. What's stagnant is dead. And I'm here to live. And so sometimes you have to find joy in things that cause you life, that elevate you, that get your, even if it's just a small thing. Like if you know that you're going to take a nap at 3, you're going to be real productive up until 2:59 to get your 3 o'clock nap, right? So resting can also bring about productivity along with joy. So those are the things that I do to bring me joy. There's going by the water, because the water refreshes me. I stood outside today. There's a creek running behind the house. And so I just listened to the water, and I was like, all right, I can go and join this 2-hour meeting, because the 2-hour meeting doesn't bring me joy, right? And so what can I do to get me there? I stood outside and listened to the rushing water, and I got energized. So those are small things that you can do. But I know a lot of times people can stay and they get caught up in the terms like depression and those types of things. But sometimes you have to go insular to find out what's really going on internally in order to draw out the light, the electricity that's inside. And so people get skittish and all of that. Like, I have to be doing something to find joy. No, sometimes you have to go internally to figure out what it is. What exactly drives you? What exactly motivates you? It's like when people say, I'm a hermit. Anytime anyone got divine inspiration, they had to go off somewhere by themselves to get that inspiration. I know I'm going on a tangent. There's so many thoughts and things I need to say, but they had to go off by themselves to find that inspiration and find that light within. They weren't necessarily given a light externally. They were given messages, but it had to ring internally, which means you were born with it. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Yes, they are born with it. And they are in the messages that the angel Gabriel in Islam, the angel Jibril gave, it drew out of them from the inside out, which means that when they say joy comes in the morning, that means you are the sun and you're bringing that joy outside of you in the morning. That means that even if it's dark outside at 4:30, that you can still have joy when the sun isn't directly shining on you because you have that light inside. So finding out you, getting in tune with you, and realizing the different things that's uniquely about you that can bring you joy. Those are the things that can help restore hope, bring other people joy, and sharing your story with others. Like when Miss Wanda was talking about her accident. And I was like, oh my God, she is a superhero. Like, wow. She is those, like the people that we read about. You're here living, breathing it. And it's like, oh my God, I am in a space with the hero. And so that's the
Right,
kind of stuff
right.
that keeps me going, brings me joy, brings inspiration to show someone who made it through, made it over, and can still be a light for others, even while having gone through something that could be seemingly traumatic. In ending, it caused you to be transformational. So, all right, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to go back on mute because I can go for days and days and years.
I love it. Who's next? Just jump in.
Well, I know for me, I like to drive. I love to just take a drive, and I'm at a point now where it's like everybody's grown, everybody's gone, um, and it's crazy because it's like I'm darn near 50, and I'm finding me,
Good.
because and I just look at the other day, I was just thinking, you really, I was one that just poured and tuned into my children, till now it's like I'm discovering Carla. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so even if it's, and I know people, well, you're a Christian, you shouldn't go on to sweepstakes. Sometimes I like to go, and I like to see,
And nobody's perfect.
and
No
I'm not
judgment.
ashamed.
Amen.
I'm a very transparent person.
That's right.
And that does it, just it's relaxing to me whether I hit. It's even more relaxing when I do hit, but
Show
Yeah, that's
them.
right.
Like
but
I said,
yeah,
you got to
just
be in it to win it, baby. Because if
okay.
I hit that honey, baby, if I hit that Powerball tonight,
Okay, while
okay.
sharing the word, because I do be talking about
Hallelujah.
Jesus.
Hey, hallelujah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, but yeah, just really learning to take time, like she said, finding out the you, what is it that's in you that you want to bring out. So yeah, those are little things that I like to do. Yeah.
That's wonderful,
and
Carla.
sit,
Thank
and
you.
sitting at home. I never knew sitting at home would be so enjoyable. Like, I don't
Sanctuary.
mind. I do
Baby,
not
Yes.
mind sitting at home, y'all. I
Yes.
don't
let me tell
mind.
you something. After I raised them 4 children of mine and
Say
they
that.
daddy and the father, hallelujah. And he gone now, all of them. Hallelujah. And I love to sit
Listen,
here by myself. I
listen. I got
love
the
it.
grand doggy. I done raised 4 children, and I got my
Okay.
son's dog, and I
Tell
really
him to come get
try.
that dog. Tell him to
Eh,
come get it.
okay, I told him the other day, I'm sure you're settled in Texas. Where you at? When are you coming to get your dog?
Please. They just like they love to drop their stuff out, children, animals, furniture,
Yes,
whatever. Listen, come get it. Come get it.
yes, but
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Who's next?
I,
Oh, I'm
I'm a,
feeling this.
I'm gonna jump in because I have to jump off, but I would say what Natasha said is so true. It can be so many different things. Like for me, I love to laugh. I believe that laughing is just the key
Mhm.
to so much joy. So like if I will find a good comedy, I love stand-up comedy, anything that's gonna make me laugh. Spending time with my family, whether it's picking up the phone, calling my grandparents, or going over there, or spending time with my kids, my daughter, my husband. Sometimes it's reading. I love to read. If I'm at the beach, that is my happy place. Getting up. If
Mm.
I'm at the beach,
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that will get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go and watch the sunrise. That is one of the best feelings in the world for me.
Mhm.
I absolutely get lost in that. But I think there's so many different things that you can find joy in, and it just depends on the moment. And that staying at home, listen, I was one of those people that the pandemic did not bother me that we had to be in. It was actually a
Free.
blessing for me.
Yeah.
Because we ran so much. It was like, whew, oh, I didn't have to go nowhere. But the problem,
Oh,
but the problem was once they opened back up, I still didn't want to go nowhere. So I've had to
Right.
start pushing myself to go places. But literally it is just you can find where you find your joy. And the thing of it is finding it in different places, because the thing of it is sometimes where you find it one place may not always be available. So if you can find joy in different places and find joy wherever you are, so whatever that is in the space that you're in, find joy wherever that is. And that helps out a lot. I have to log off. I gotta go check on my daughter, but thank y'all so
Oh,
much for this
okay.
time.
All right. Thank you.
And love y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Nice
Thank
meeting
you, Melanie.
you.
nice
Thank
meeting
Bye,
you.
you.
Melanie.
Thanks.
I don't mind sharing next. You all, what's bringing me joy is Starbucks chai latte with
Ooh,
almond milk, warm,
yeah.
with a little pinch of the gingerbread.
Yeah. Oh,
Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
we love it. Yeah.
Yes. And then if they have the it's a sandwich they have. It is the turkey bacon egg white sandwich just together. You know how you can eat something and you just close your eyes and just kind of sway a little bit.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, listen,
Yes,
in
right.
almost every sermon, I talk about food or something.
Oh my God.
Food is just good for the soul.
A
And
foodie is a
so,
lifestyle, ain't it? It just brings you
yes,
joy, don't it?
yes. So that's what's bringing me joy. Good food. Um, Also exercise.
Okay.
I have found that just moving my body helps to release stress, helps to calm me down. Um, I realized after taking a class where there's yoga, high intensity interval training, whatever it is, I start yawning afterwards. And so, we have these natural endorphins that help to release stress and to calm us down. And so, regular patterns of exercise helps to bring me joy. Yeah. And I would say also being just with my family, spending time with my kids, laughing. I have enjoyed tonight. I love to laugh and I love to have a good time. So being with you all tonight has truly been a blessing for me and has brought me a lot of joy. But yeah, those are some of the things that I would say.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's wonderful. How many kids do you have, Fanta?
I have three. I have three girls, one set of twins,
Man.
middle school and high school. The
Oh,
twins are in middle
bless.
school. My oldest.
I
So
live through it. I get it.
we're not quite alone yet, but anyway, they're doing well. So I praise God for that.
Bless God. That's okay. That's it now. Dr. Wanda, come on.
Hanging out with my family, my kids, my grandkids, and especially hanging out with my husband because he keeps me laughing all the time. He keeps me laughing. So that it's a joy to come home to him. And building things like that gives me joy. If I can got my drill in my hand, that gives me joy. I had a she shed. Y'all heard of the she shed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had one of those, and when my husband got it for me, it was a blank canvas. I did the drywall, I did the floors, I hung the ceiling fan, I did the painting, and I had myself a ball. My husband would come out like late at night, like, when are you coming in the house? And I'm like, just leave me alone. But when I first got it, he kept saying, I got to get somebody to come and put this drywall up and somebody to put the floors in. And I said, man, I'm looking at him like, so after that third time he said, I was like, why do you keep saying that? I love doing stuff like that. I wish I had pictures could show y'all, but I don't have it now because when we moved out. My son lives in that house now, so
Oh,
he's enjoying he's enjoying it now. So, but yeah, if I got my drill in my hand and I'm putting stuff together, and then I can see my finished work, that gives me joy. Yeah,
wonderful.
and of course, going to church, singing on the praise team.
Yes, yes. Now that's what I do miss. I miss the things at church. Like I taught Sunday school for 20 years. I did prison ministry for almost 20 years. I miss those things, but I do those things in a different way now. And my pastor said, "You're gonna be back," and I probably will be. But I just took a little hiatus to do things my way because right now I like being on that stage. I like slinging these jokes. I like being on these TV screens. I like being on these stages. It's a release for me. Um, I love coloring. I color a lot. So whether Pinky's here or not, I'm coloring. I like coloring books. I don't know how to draw, but I could color and paint very well. And I have my own little personal painting tips in here by myself, child. Me and Snoop Dogg wine and the paint. We just be in here. We just having a great time. So, and then, every now and then I got this little man friend that I like to sit and look at his face sometime and he look at mine yeah. That's how it is, right? Because y'all ain't talked about that, but baby, that's a great stress release and I love it. So I just keep it real. That's what's wrong with people. Y'all don't talk the real. The real is I like to be touched sometime by the opposite sex. It's just a good stress release. And it works for me. It's been helping me throughout.
Well, honey, do he have a brother? He got a brother, uncle, cousin.
No, he don't. I had to think about it. I was like, no, he don't. So, oh, well, wait a minute. He might do. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, off that. What I do want y'all to do, I will have to say something out of order.
I know. I was like, there's my friend.
That's your last time. I just, hey. God, listen, I'm the reason. I've been telling people all the time, I be like, Jesus died for me. He died for me because I be doing stuff. Okay, now, before we leave, because I'm not going to keep y'all on here long, and we're going to get off, I want y'all to either pray or just give a word of encouragement for people to take with them. So for the people that's going to catch this on the replay, for the people that's going to listen to this, I don't know why people ain't getting on here chatting tonight. Usually that chat be blowed up. I don't know if people just aren't paying attention, or it could be, y'all, it's football season. This is what I want y'all to know. And the good people be watching football on the same time as my show now because it's Thursday night and Thursday night football is on. I found this out last year. And it's okay because then people tune in later and they say, oh, the show was amazing, blah, blah, blah. And, it's all about, even if we just reach one person who gets, what we need out of this show, it's good. Just like with preaching. If one person show up and get what God said, we good, right? So that's how it works for me with pretty much everything when it comes to the show. So we're going to go backwards. So Miss Wanda, if you would, you could pray, you can give a word of advice. What do you want to tell people to do in the days to come? What would you say?
I'm just going to stick with my motto, trust God and trust the process. And I always say, I don't care what it looks like, what it feels like. I don't care what the enemy said it's going to be like. Trust the process and trust God. He will never leave us. He will never leave us. And I know sometimes it's easier said than done. And sometimes, we find it easy to tell people, just trust God, trust the process, but when you're struggling, sometimes it's hard to do that. But I just want to encourage people, anybody who's listening, just trust the process. We're all going through, but we have to push sometimes to get to the other side of through, because on the other side of through is victory. So we just have to trust the process along the way. Whenever we take a test, if you're studying for an exam, it's not easy always.
Right.
Those answers don't always come. But if you
Mhm.
just trust the process, and after you get your final score and you passed, there's victory. So just trust the process. Trust the process and trust God in the process.
I love that. And where can people find you on these social medias and see what you, Miss Wanda, have to give to the masses?
I'm on Facebook. As
Okay.
Wanda C. Williams, but I don't have any other kind of anything else out there other than
Okay,
that.
so where's your church? Where do you minister at? Maybe somebody's in Wilson and want to come see you.
Yes, I am at Christ Temple of Praise in Wilson. The pastor is Bishop M.K. Smith. We are on Tarboro Street, across the street from McDonald's.
Okay, wonderful. All right, Miss Carla.
Well, shout out to my pastor, Stephen Tyndall at Freedom Baptist Church.
Okay.
And this just a little scripture that's one of my favorites. For this we know that all things
Mm-hmm.
are working together for your good.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how you may see it with your physical eyes. It's still working for your good.
Right.
And what we have to remember is that where we are right now, whatever it is, whatever situation, whatever situation that we may be facing as individuals, it's working to either prepare us to go higher or to move us from out of our comfort zone. But either way, it's working, and it's working for your good. So like the sister said, just trust the process, because that's what it is. The things that we go through, it is a process to get us to where God is already, he already knows and sees, and he's already ordained that path for us and our lives. We just got to get there. We just got to get there and know that it is working.
Mm-hmm.
It is working, and we'll be better once we come out of it.
Okay.
So
I love
that's
it.
it.
I love it. And where can the people find you, Miss Carla?
You can find me on social media. I don't have a special page. I'm just Carla Fulton on social media. And that's it.
And that's
Right here.
Fulton, people who are listening. I always spell out, so sorry.
Yes. Fulton. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carla. And thank you, Wanda. Both of y'all. Look, I'm feeling good. Okay. All right, family time.
I have a story. I was going to visit two of my members. I was in the hospital and I was trying to find my way to the North Wing. I had been to the Central, to the South, and the West and the East, but y'all, I didn't know where North was. So I went up the elevator where I knew to go and figured I would see the sign to North. But guess what? The sign to North was not there. So I kept walking and I saw this gentleman getting ready to get on the elevator. And I asked him, hey, do you know where North is? He said, no, I'm trying to find where the babies are being born. I said, well, I can tell you where the babies are being born. And so I directed him in that direction. And as the door was closing and I was still trying to find my way to North, y'all, he said, I don't know where North is, but I believe in you. When he said, I believe in you, I stopped for a minute and I thought about that thing. I said, he, a stranger, believed that I had what I needed within me to navigate and find where North is. My question, my comment to you all is, I believe in you. I believe that God has given all of us everything that we need to go to the purpose that God has ordained for our lives. I believe that God will bring it forth in God's timing. I believe that God will bring us through this season that we are navigating now, and whatever is to come, we don't have to worry about it, because I believe that the God that loves us more than we love ourselves will help us to navigate through every step of the way. And as I was trying to get to North, y'all, I got to a nurse's station, and the nurse directed me to go back to where I just was, take another turn to get there. And then the person at the front desk signed me in to the place I needed to be, because I didn't sign in like I was supposed to at first, y'all.
Yeah.
And then she directed me to the elevator that took me to the room that I needed to go to. And that's what happens, that as we believe in what God has given us, the Lord will direct our paths. As the scripture says, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways, the Lord shall direct your path. So as we trust in the Lord shall direct our paths through the twists and the turns and all of that, because we believe in each other and we believe in the God that is within us. So keep believing. I believe in you.
I love that, girl. Girl, don't make me come to Greensboro and see what you talking about over there, girl. I mean, I slid right up at your church, crazy as I am, and just stick my foot right in there and listen, because I'm that person. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Natasha, now, she done dipped out when it's her turn. Now, tell the people where they can find you before she comes back on. I didn't ask you that.
So I'm on Instagram at PL Prayer Wall, also Fanta Lanston. And then my website is fantalanston.com.
Okay, wonderful. I wonder what happened. I don't know. Hopefully she'll come back.
Maybe it was internet.
Sometimes listen, you don't know how many times that has happened. Oh, excuse me. I don't know why I'm yawning, because I ain't sleeping. Let me tell you. I will say my word of encouragement is have faith, because I am literally, what you see sitting in front of you is a faith walker. Everything that I have accomplished in life, a lot of it has come from me just jumping out there and see what happens, because my mama always told me God has your back, right? And so if God gives you the wherewithal to do a thing, if God gifted you to be funny, to cook, I'm a good cook, all the different things. When I got laid off from my job, I had no idea that me being able to cook would take care of me and my kids for as long as it did. Oh, okay, she cool. And then, just the different things God puts our gifts and talents in our hands, because he's a God. He thinks ahead of us. He's already made the plan. And just like that preaching that I heard from Reverend Linville long time ago, he said, picture you're in a parade and you're on the ground watching the parade, and you can see as far as you can see to your left and to your right. You can see in both directions and in front of you, but you can only see as far as your eyes can see. But imagine that you're sitting on top of one of the highest buildings downtown, or wherever the parade is, and you can see where the parade starts and you can see where the parade ends. And that's exactly how God has our lives set up. God sees the beginning and he sees the end. So even though you're in the middle and you're looking and you can only see, the person that sits high and watches over us has already mapped out the whole parade. So you don't have to be sitting there worried and crying and figuring things out, but you do have to have faith that whatever it is that you need, the man who can see everything has already worked it out for you, right? And that's how I live my life. And I want everybody to be encouraged to know that, just walk in the direction you feel like you're supposed to be going in and watch God do the rest. Because he's done it for me time and time again. All right? So, Tasha, give us your word of encouragement.
I think my Wi-Fi went out because I was wavering on talking about this one thing. So I was inspired to by the story of Hercules. His name's Heracles, right? In Greek mythology, but everybody knows him as Hercules, especially in like the Disney movies and all of that. But that's not the true mythology of him. And so Hercules was one who of Perseus, and he was promised the kingdom that Perseus once ruled over. That the next grandson would be the ruler. But there was someone, it was actually Hera, who was jealous of Hercules. And so she caused his labor to be delayed and allowed a cousin to be born 1 second earlier than him. And so a lot of times I think of it when you are supposed to have a position or something in life, and then someone can come around and try to cause a delay in you reaching that level. They can interfere in some type of way. And you're like, ah, in that moment. And so Hercules still grew to be who he was. He had an anger problem. And so that had to be worked out before he reached any throne. So a lot of times for us, denial is not forever. It is so that we can gain experience, we can learn lessons, and that we can be ready for that position that's already promised to us. And so even in his cousin being born 1 second earlier than him, he was still promised rulership. And so then he went on and he did something terrible, and he had to go to his cousin to get different missions that he had to run on. And so a lot of times we feel like all of these troubles and tasks that we have to do as a redemption story, or to try to prove ourselves or to learn more, we think of it as punishment. But it's something that built up his legend. And so the things that we do in the face of adversity are the things that's going to make us legendary. And I forgot the cousin's name, but I know Hercules, right?
Mhm.
And so there he is doing all of these things. Like if you look at Black people, when you were talking about our ancestors and the things that they did with the tools that they had at the time, and they were still able to create, grow, and achieve, as well as stand strong, because we're still here, regardless of the setbacks that were being placed upon them. The strength that we have changed the trajectory of the world out of just simply being. And so then we shifted it. And so like Hercules, he went and he was he was sent to clean out manure, like a whole stable that hadn't been cleaned in 30 years. And it was a herd of cows, and he had to clean it out. It was like meters high of crap. You know what I really want to call it, of crap. And so he was like, they say he could only use his hands. So he had his ingenuity. How many Black people had their ingenuity? Eli Whitney in the cotton gin, who's a Black man. Ingenuity. And so used his ingenuity to lift the stone that caused a river to flow, clean out the crap. And what happens when those things come? Crap can be turned into fertilizer. It's very much fertilizer. So the water pushed it out. And so the things that we do when we're sent on whether it seems like these missions where it's not on the path that we thought we would be on, but it caused the land where the crap was to be fertile for generations. So when we think something that we're doing is so insignificant, but it can change someone's life that we aren't directly related to, but it can change their lives for generations, that means that the path was necessary. The path was necessary to grow us, move us, create stories about us, build a reputation for us. So when we walk in and we are there to claim the throne, no one can deny it. And so that's what's happening now in the world right now. We are being redirected and sent on in paths that we never thought that we could do. And it seems insurmountable. It seems like 30 years of crap are being placed upon our shoulders to clean up. But as we do so and peck away at it without getting ourselves covered in the crap, because that's one thing that we have to do. What did it say? In the world,
but not of the world.
Of the world. So not allowing yourself to be covered in all of the mess while still being able to clear it out and still being present for the clearing. That's something that we should do, because those are the stories that legends are made of. And so where is what they say Hercules now? He's in the stars. He's in the movies. Again, like I said, that one who was denied, who denied him the throne, you don't even know who that is. So sometimes those people that are set up to try to take you off task, that can seem like, oh my God, they ruined it for me. They did not. They set you on the path of legendhood, of history, of universal adulation. And sometimes your ancestors, the creator, they're moving you upon this path of not great, but the greatest. And so we should move with it, allow ourselves to not have our spiritual line completely severed, but to allow us to move in the changing of direction and for us to shine and for us to be part of the change, part of the hope, part of the life, part of the joy, and most importantly, show up as our authentic selves while doing it. And part of the love.
I love it. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, listen. I did what I meant to do. I brought these ladies on here. Y'all encourage not just me, but each other, or whomever is listening and whomever is watching. I will tag y'all in the clips in the days to come. And it always people come back on and don't be surprised when people start inboxing you. I always have to warn people when they watch my shows, because people will watch my show and find you and say, hey, can we talk about when you said blah, 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 blah? Because that happens all the time. Be ready for that, because that's part of your mission. If you're an encourager, like in the Bible when it says, what's the word for, I always laugh. I said, God made me to be an encourager, but what's the exhortation, right? Mm-hmm. That's a gift, right? To be a teacher, to be a minister, to be a prophet, all these things that God gifted people, and everybody doesn't have the same gift, but whatever your gift is, roll in it, go, because time is of the essence. It's people that are gone that I just knew would be here today, and they're not here, they're gone. So do what you're supposed to do while you can still do it. That's it. So before I leave, I just want to tell you, Natasha, where can people find you? I didn't get that from you. Sorry.
Oh, you can find me on YouTube, on Instagram at Amuri Amin. It's in the name. You can find me on Threads, as I keep talking about that, as at Amuri Amin. So everything is Amuri Amin.
Please spell Amuri Amin, please. Thank you.
Amuri, and then Amin, Ameen.
Okay, we're going to jump off, but before we jump off, I just want to say to all of you, I always like to speak blessings over my guests, because you took time out of your busy schedule to come on my show, and you didn't have to. I pray that God gives you everything that you want and everything that you need. That's good for you. I pray that God goes with you, before you, ahead of you, and makes your way light. I pray that anything that you're up against, that God will completely fight that battle for you and give you some rest and some respite from this world, because this world can be heavy sometimes. I pray that you will have something to just put a smile on your face and in your heart. I pray that you get it real soon. Maybe when you hang up off of this podcast. I pray just the best for you. I pray that, people say life isn't rainbows, but why can't it be? Why can't it be? And so that's what I'm wishing for you. Rainbows and sunshine and sunflowers and all the things that make your heart sing. I pray that that's what's coming to you next. So that's me talking to you. I thank you, ladies, for coming on tonight. You were amazing. I thank you for taking your time out to uplift me and others. Because y'all, last week I wasn't feeling. I was. And so when I thought of this, here's the final fruit. So I thank you, ladies. I can't thank you enough. I'm just really feeling like this on the inside, like.
Thank you, Carla, for the invitation.
Thank you so much.
Thank
And I hope
you.
you ladies
Yes.
have a phenomenal weekend. And I just wish you all the best. All right. Until next episode, y'all. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
That's my girl right there.